Tasha. Oh, Tasha. Oh, Tasha. Oh, it's time for Talks with Tasha. Tasha. Oh, Tasha.
Welcome to Talks with Tasha. I'm your host, Tasha G. Here on Talks with Tasha, I like to have thought-provoking conversations with you all about real life experiences in an authentic and sometimes comical way. Honest conversations with no filter and all love. Fit in. So we have the topic that we're actually going to be discussing today is we're talking about the pissy ass dating pool, right? People like to say, oh, it has to be the individual, but the truth is that my guest today that I have coming on to have a talk with us, she actually is nothing like me. However, she is experiencing very similar issues that everybody else is kind of dealing with out there. So I want you guys to give a round of applause and a welcome to my guest, Brianna Turner. Welcome, Brianna. Welcome.
Hey, I literally love the applause. That made my day.
That made your day. All about you. It's all about the guests. It's all about who we get to talk with. So I appreciate you taking the time. So for those of y'all who are actually joining us live and can actually see this young lady, this is the beautiful Brianna. She and I actually met. Now, don't fall out y'all seats right now. We met when I was one of the mentors at church. So I know that might be totally foreign to a lot of y'all. And the whole idea of me, like, oh my God, Tasha in a church. Yes, Tasha in a church, y'all. She was at the time you were what, 16?
Girl, I think I was even younger. I might have been like 15, 14, yeah, 15. So I don't know.
She was a baby, y'all. So that's when she met me. And during the course of our I guess us getting acquainted with one another, I decided to leave the church because,
it'd be like that. It'd be like that, honestly.
It'd be like that. Like, because, I'm a little bit of a heathen and I just embraced it. But though I embraced my going out and just stepping away from the church, I still made sure that I had a relationship with the young ladies and the young men that I had connected to during my time there. And she was one of them. And I have watched her blossom into a full-grown, tax-paying, educated, voting adult. Process, I've watched her, like I said, she went to college. Where did you go? What did you study?
Girl, so I have 2 degrees. So I studied kinesiology at Georgia Mason, and then I have my Master of Public Health from Virginia Tech, and I'm also a PhD student. So I'm a professional student at this point.
I just want to let everybody know I'm smart, and I'm smart on top of being smart.
Exactly.
But along with her actually going for all of these degrees, she was also competing in, like, I swear, it seemed like every couple of months you were in some pageant getting some new crown.
Yes. Listen, whatever pays the student loan bill, okay? My pageantry has allowed me to pay into student loans, so I don't have to pay myself. So, queen of many crowns.
But like I said, I was sitting on the sidelines and I was extremely proud because I'm watching. I'm like, I remember this baby. Like, I remember she is growing up into, the Auntie Tasha. Like, she is growing up to be this well-spoken, very poised, gorgeous Black woman. And so you and I continue to keep in contact with each other. But one of the things that I noticed that we had in common, though I am basically old enough to be your mother, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'll claim her as my child. But though I'm old enough to be her mother, we were experiencing the same, like, anytime I post something about dating, Brianna was like, girl, yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And we have a significant age gap between us. And obviously, if anybody has ever paid attention to me, I will say any and everything up out of my mouth. Rihanna is a pageant queen, so she's poised, right? She keeps her act together. She knows how to keep her cool under pressure. You put some pressure on me, I'm about to pop. Like I'm gonna say whatever, I'm gonna do whatever. That's not gonna let me, I might go to Facebook jail, but I'm not gonna go to real jail. That's the edge of that line, right? But like I said, educated. Though I have a great, 9 to 5. I'm not the chick who went to college. I was in the military. I use that to my advantage. So I'm not the chick that has all of these degrees up under me. I'm not the chick who is poised and soft spoken and knows how to be a delicate feminine energy. I'm working on it though, y'all. Uh, I'm not working hard, but like I'm trying.
It's okay. It's an attempt. That's all we can ask for.
Eventually I'll get there.
Yeah.
Eventually I will get
Yeah.
there. But how is it possible that you have this young lady who, has all of these qualities that you say that men look for in women, yet she is running across the same pissy laden, meth needle laden dating pool that all the, women like myself who has been married a few times, who has already had her kids, who is, in the eyes of some, like I'm old product, right? I mean, I'm older, but I'm not old product. So that was part of the discussion that we were having. And I'll go ahead and be transparent. This is something that, I know might trigger a few people, but what kind of tipped off us saying, you know what, we actually need to have this conversation was there was a post that came up about a young man that much of the athletic world and quite a few high school girls have fallen in love with. And they posted this picture, and I, in the words of some, was triggered. And it was a picture of LeBron James's son and his date. And it wasn't about me wanting to be with him. I'm a Black mom. I'm a woman who has, played a part in raising other Black women who have a thing or have a desire to have a Black partner. And when I'm hearing my own daughters tell me that they have a problem, with the boys in high school and in college, even giving them the thought or even a second look. And then that's the younger generation. And then you have you in your generation who is being met with the same issues. Then there's me, who's an entire generation ahead of you, being met with the same issues. We decided, okay, this is a conversation that needs to happen. So from your stance, Brianna, I've been doing a lot of talking, but I want people to know, like, what does it look like for you as a young woman who is dating, and what the dating pool looks like for you?
Yeah, I want to like run it back though, because I think about when I was in high school or middle school coming up to high school, the Black guys would shout snow bunnies or no bunnies down the hallway. And so, like, this idea that when I saw that picture, I was like, dang, like, I've seen this so much throughout life that I'm not surprised. I'm just a little bit, and I can say it with my chest, I'm a little bit disappointed because his mom is beautiful, his sister is beautiful, and I'm like, I know that he goes to private school and that it might be limited in terms of the Black queens, but I'm just triggered from thinking about snow bunnies or no bunnies, or thinking about how in high school I had a boyfriend, but like the Black girls going to homecoming, going to prom, no dates. Black girls never getting any play. And it just sucks. And so, like, now I notice when I go out with my white friends, sometimes I will get attention. And then if I go out with my Black girlfriends, I don't get any sort of attention. Um, when I started my
When you say you're getting attention, are you getting attention from white men, or are the Black men now paying attention to you because you're in the midst of white company?
both, 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 both. I literally have gone out to the same place where I've been with a mixed crowd. So white girls, Black girls get attention from white guys, get attention from Black guys. You're so pretty, da 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 da. I go out with my Black girlfriends at the same location, just stares, no approaching, nothing.
Do you think maybe whenever you are in a crowd of Black women, that maybe Black men feel a little bit intimidated to approach a group of, because listen, we will cut we will cut somebody off at the kneecaps real quick. Like, don't you see me with my girls? Why you approaching us? Like, and that,
Yeah.
I mean, so I understand that it might be intimidating to approach a woman, let alone, a whole gang of, especially, if it's a whole bunch of beautiful Black women who
Yes.
look like they got their shit together, those dudes are probably like, ugh.
I mean, true, but like, I don't know. This sounds bad, but man up. I don't know. Like,
Ain't no such thing as anything sounding bad on here.
I don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, why are you okay with approaching me when I'm still with bad women when it's a mixed company, but I'm with all my Black girls, my queens, and it's different. Like, I don't get it.
I don't know if it's because there's a part of society that still feeds into that idea that if you get a white girl, that means something, or if you get a non-Black girl, should I say, because they'll brag about a Spanish chick in a minute. They'll brag about, their snow bunny in a minute. And I will say this much: the Black couples that I do see, these men love their Black women. Like, they love them, they're very proud of them. But I'll be honest, like, I feel like we don't necessarily see as much of that. And people try to say, oh, well, no, that's just because they don't advertise it or whatever. I'm watching my daughters. Like, I'm literally watching my, teenage daughters who in high school, every dude that you see is walking right on past them.
Yep. And your daughters are beautiful. First of all, let's put that out there. They're very cute. They're beautiful. They're athletic. They got pretty hair, like all the things.
Babies. The hashtag DNA. I mean, we just try to capitalize on it. But it's the truth. Like, I'm sitting here watching them, while they were in high school. And granted, I had rules, that nobody had a boyfriend until the age of 16. So,
yeah.
or a girlfriend. Like, that was a rule in my house. But as my daughters have gotten older, it's kind of like the same scenarios. And then whenever guys do approach them, this is the other part of the pissiness of the pool. Whenever they do approach them, they're not taking them seriously.
Yes.
They're not looking for them and saying, oh my goodness, like, I really want to get to know you. They're like, yo, ma, what's up? Like, what you want to do? You want to come chill? Like, they're not trying to take them out. They're not. And when you want to talk about like lack of consistency, that part I won't complain about as much, because at least the older men will fake the funk and act like they trying to be something in your life. But they will, whenever they show any sort of interest, they will let it be known, like, I'm trying to smash. I'm not really trying to be serious. I'm just trying to kick it.
I feel like there's two extremes though. Like with me, I have the "Hey, ma, what's up?" and then I have the "Oh my God, I'm gonna marry you." Da 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 da. And my running joke is any man that's told me in life they want to marry me, they want to like go the distance with me, we're blocked on everything. Like, you're blocked on everything. Like, don't tell me that. If you're serious about that,
your blessing.
I'm not blocking my blessing. I'm not. I promise.
Look, they say when a man knows, he knows.
I promise you. I've had too many. I've dated some of them. Okay. They're blocked for a good reason. But it's like two extremes though. Like, why can't you just like not be normal, but like, why can't you be normal and like actually get to know me, actually be genuine? You don't have to tell me sweet nothings to like get to know me.
Because options, girl. There's way too many options out there, or there's this perceived idea of options.
Yes.
So when you sit here and go after any and every chick, especially like if they're not being serious and they don't have to put in any sort of work.
Facts.
Next, like they gonna move on. It's like me and my hair, right? Like, if I got to put in work on it, like, do I really want to go here, or can I just put it in a bun? Okay,
right.
I'm gonna take the easy way out. I'm gonna just put it in a bun. I'm curly. I'm not gonna straighten it out. Like the path of least resistance.
Yes.
But I think if people just kind of truly owned where they are in their dating journey, right? Like, yo, if you really just trying to smash,
say that. It's okay.
Because I promise you, there's some that exist out there that have had seasons where that's all they wanted. Like, we're not trying to be wifed up. We're not trying to meet your family. I don't want to be around your little badass kids. I just want you to go ahead, de-stress me, and then go on about your business.
Maybe feed me. That's it. Like, we don't have to do
that. Then I might have to have a conversation with you. No, like, I ate before I came. Hey, yes, that's what you can do. You can feed me that, sir. Hey, but people don't want to be honest, and it's really based in selfishness, right?
Yes.
because people want what they want. I was having a sideline conversation on Facebook the other day because I'm in Facebook jail again. And I'm working on it. I'm working on being a better person. I'm out tonight though. I get out tonight and I'm hoping I'm still out on Monday. But, but anyway, like you have these guys that are complaining and saying, uh why I gotta pay for all of her bills. Oh, if this chick wants you to pay all her bills, she ain't for you, sir. So just keep it moving. If that dude ain't up for paying all your bills and you want somebody that pays your bills, don't call that man cheap. Say that man has standards/expectations, and that's what
Mhm.
he's sticking with. And there's nothing wrong with that. But nobody wants to tell the truth.
Facts.
Like just tell the truth. And I think we've gotten into a place to where, like I said, there's so many options out there that people feel like, well, I can just let me just lie and see what I can get out of this one, because if I get caught in a lie, if it don't work out, then I'll just go ahead and move on to the next one. If I have to start putting in too much work,
Literally, I agree with that 100%.
I'm going to
100%.
the next one. But we don't want them to go on to the next one.
Mm-mm.
We don't want, we want people to take the time to get to know us, to um to decide, like, in your situation. Okay, so I'm not going to speak for you. At this point in your life, when it comes to dating, what are you looking for?
Don't waste my time. My time is so valuable. Like, I have a lot going on, okay? I'm in school. Occasionally, I put on a shiny hat called a crown. I have a lot of things going on. Don't waste my time. Like, if you just want to have fun, say that. So then you give me the opportunity to, say yes or no. If you want to be in a relationship, say that. So again, you can give me the opportunity to say yes or no. But I feel like when guys see me, they're like, wife material. And then they try to fake the funk and they're not anything. And it like wastes my time. I don't like it. Just be honest. Be brutally honest. I'm a blunt person. It's fine. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. So we can
So,
figure out like what we're doing.
so if you were to walk into a space and there's just this beautiful, well put together chocolate, caramel, it depends on what shade you like, um, of a gentleman wearing hoochie daddy shorts. Yes, and he does not skip leg day.
I love a good leg day.
Listen.
I be lifted.
This leg day matters for so many reasons, but that's another show. Um, but you see him over there. What what do you want out? Like, when it comes to you as
Mhm.
Brianna, as the woman, what what are you looking for out of him? Not just wasting your time, because you're saying, okay, don't waste my time.
Yeah.
But what what is your time worth? Like, what are you actually looking for when you date someone?
Right now, I would say like I really want a solid like friendship with good chemistry. Like
Okay.
I don't need like a fuck buddy.
Mm.
Like I would love like a solid like good romantic a friendship that also has romance. But I'm really good at like seeing through the BS now.
Yeah.
You don't really have personality, or like you don't really have everything together. Like you try to project it. Like no, I'm cool on that. I just want real and someone who's genuine and have fun.
So so what you're saying is at this point in your life, whenever it comes to the dating world, you really don't have the overarching pressure of, oh, well, I need to get married by, in the next 2 years, and I need to have 2.5 kids in the next 5 years.
No, I don't have that anymore at all, and I think it was, like this is, like, really shitty too, but when I told someone I was getting accepted to a PhD program, I was going to my PhD, they were like, "Ooh, you're gonna have a hard time finding someone." And first I was like, who asked you? I'm trying to tell you about my new accomplishment. Now you just decide to put a man in this, like, that's crazy.
Did
No one
they
was
listen
talking
to
about him.
Kevin Samuels?
God, they might have. They might have.
Mm,
They
yeah,
might have.
yeah, because there was certain statements that he had, and I'm pretty sure PhD, like, was frowned upon.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds on brand. Sounds on brand.
Yeah.
Sounds on brand. Completely. Completely.
We're both going to be single because you are getting a PhD and I have a dog.
Yeah.
So
A pit bull at that matter, so you really messed up.
she's sweet. Oh, she's sweet like her mom. Like, she was vicious, but she's a sweet girl. But no, like, so I think that that's one of the big issues is that you you have a lot of people who don't necessarily actually know what they want, and they're
Yes.
stumbling through that whole process of, oh, well, oh, she looks pretty or he looks nice. Let me date this person. And then they realize, wait a minute, I don't even know what I want. So then here's this individual who has all these great qualities and you've wasted their time and now you've jaded them for the next
Facts.
one. And
Facts.
and people go from person to person to person, not taking the time to process what just happened to me. Like,
Mhm.
why am I in such a shitty space right now? And then they move into the next interaction, relationship, or whatever, and they pretty much hate. They
Mhm.
pretty much hate, the person that they're with. Little do they know they hate that person. The statement now is you don't actually like women. And I
Bro,
think
that's so facts. Yes.
you like
Yes.
pussy, but you don't like women.
Yes, or you're trying to date someone for, like, your homeboys to, like, hype you up, but you don't really like her
Yeah. Oh, that happens a lot.
all
They
the
have
time.
zero connection. And I don't know if I've ever been caught in that position because I don't know what homeboy would wish me on his homeboys. one, one of my guy friends came to me the other day and he was like, I need to put you up on, my college roommate. I was like, do you hate him? What,
Please.
like,
Yeah.
are you trying to end your friendship with him? Because and it's not me bragging and saying like I'm a horrible person. It's that I have certain standards and I'm very rigid on a lot of it, right?
Period.
Because you're at a season of your life where you have not been married, you have never had kids, and I'm guessing that these are things that you want for yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely, when the time's right, though, I'm not trying to force it with these people.
She said these people.
I'm not trying to do that.
But okay, so this is where you are, right? You're at a place to where you can possibly consider moving forward into that space with somebody, right? My
Yes.
daughters ain't nowhere near that. Like they just want somebody that they can hang out with and hold hands with. I'm gonna leave it at that. They just want to hold hands, and watch My Little Pony. Damn it, that's all they want. And I'm at a place to where like I've already been married. I've already had kids. I'm already established. So I'm really just looking for that partnership.
Mhm.
And it still seems like even that is asking too much. Looking for just basic partnership is stretching a man too thin. And I don't know,
Yes.
I don't know where that's coming from.
I feel like it's coming from the Bird app. Like, I don't know why people think they need to have an opinion about everything and that someone's gonna read their opinion about everything. But the think pieces really be going strong because I remember at one time on Twitter was like, "Is $150 too much for a date?" And I really just put my phone down and sat in silence because I like, first of all, if y'all both drink, you're getting an appetizer, entree, dessert. That's about $150. Like,
Are we talking about teenagers?
no, we were not talking about teenagers. That's why I was just made no sense. I go out with my girlfriends and we spend that on each other. Like, what do you, if I do that with my girlfriends, why can't I expect that from a man?
So Brianna, this is great. We actually have a caller right now. So
Mhm.
you are you ready to deal with this?
I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's do
Okay.
it.
Go ahead, put them in. Okay, this is Tasha G, who I'm talking to. Hello? Oh, somebody got scared. Don't get scared if you gonna call in. Let's talk. Like I promise I'm gonna be nice-ish. No, no, but okay. So back to what we were talking about. The fact is that whenever you're trying to put a monetary amount on dates, there's so many things that come into play. Because
Mm.
I hear them in the studio, they like $150. Where they drinking at? Where they eating at? Listen, I will burn that shit on a cool Thursday on myself.
Exactly. Like we wine and dine friends. Like we what? My girlfriends and I, we take each other out to dinner, ice cream. We give each other gifts, flowers. Like what's going on with the men? What's going on?
And I have no idea where that's coming from. You have a lot of these guys that, they're like, and I will say there are some women who are out there using these men for
Free
dates.
free
Like,
meals. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I have other things to do with my time.
you think I
Mm-mm.
want to sit across from your raggedy ass
Nope.
just so I can have a meal that I can pay for by myself? I will be perfectly fine sitting in this restaurant by myself, enjoying
Mhm,
my meal, having
mhm,
great conversation on whatever social media I'm scrolling,
mhm.
or just be in my own space. being at peace with myself. There's men out there who have this idea that we need them for all of these things, and a lot of us are not at that place.
We
But
don't.
$150, like I said, it depends on where you are, because I will say, those who are listening from back home in Louisiana, I'm sure they like $150. Now, Tasha know better, because that's not where I come from. Listen, we going to Sonic. We about to, get us some cherry lime slushes, and we
Ooh.
about to have a great date.
With some fries. With some fries.
With some chili cheese fries.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to send me home early, because it might not sit well. It might not. But so that's what I'm saying. So I don't like whenever people ask questions like that, or whenever they make statements about monetary amounts on things, or when people say, I need somebody who makes six figures. Well, in this area, everybody makes six figures.
Everybody makes six figures, and you can be house poor with six figures in Northern Virginia, because
and people are. You will go into these big old houses, and they still got the air mattress on the floor.
Or they have multiple roommates. Okay, multiple roommates living in the dining room.
Work. So you're saying six figures in this area doesn't really mean much.
No.
But you go down south, you go down to Louisiana, you go to southern Mississippi. Well, I would probably say anywhere in Mississippi. If you tell somebody you making six figures, they're like, "Oh, you rich. So when we put these monetary amounts on what people can and can't afford, or what they do and don't do, I think it's all subjective, right? You can't just put that on it. But I will say this much: having this idea that every woman is looking for a sponsor, and men having this idea that or women having this idea that if a man doesn't spend money on you, he's not interested in you. Dating is expensive. And I know the girls is probably gonna be mad at me about this, but I am notorious for, if we go on a date, if we make it to a second date, so this is very far and few, y'all. I'm sorry. If we make it to the second date, I have no problem covering the check.
Oh, that's so nice of you.
I'm different. Because hey. Because for me, everybody dates how they're comfortable, right? I recognize that dating is an expensive hobby, whatever you want to call it. And I don't want a man feeling like he's financially investing all of these things into me. I can check his financial well-being in other ways. I don't need him to check it by us going to whatever random restaurant, on any day, how much money he drops at. Because I've had dudes that have dropped some stacks hanging out. He has a fucking roommate. No. And his credit score is like in the 600s. So you got all this money, but if we get together, you got to come and live with me. Nah, player, I'm out.
It's giving homosexual. Okay, that's what it's giving.
Hey, listen, sometimes homosexuals have a place. They can't stay overnight though. But I've heard that homosexuals come with some really strong game. If you get,
I mean, they got to have something going for them, right?
I feel like that's their form of payment.
Yeah.
So, but so it's like I said, it's not that I do it because I feel like a man can't afford it. It's simply because I recognize that as much as I desire a traditional a relationship that has like traditional gender roles, I also realize the process of dating and the journey of dating can become extremely taxing on our finances. And the reality is financially, a lot of us are making especially Black women, we are making a lot more money than some of these Black men are.
Yes.
If he's taking me out and spending $400 on a date, I don't need the studio to say nothing about him spending $400 on a date. This area. This is what happens out here. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that was a down payment on anything. It may mean that it was, but it doesn't necessarily mean that like guaranteed. But it just because, I totally lost my train of thought. See, I started talking about, because I remember that $400 meal. It was great.
As it should be.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if a guy is taking out like one woman let's say, and we know this is, on the low end of the deal. He's an attractive guy who has, has his life in order, has a good job, great personality. I assure you, this man is not going out on just one date.
No, he got a roster. He's got a
Exactly. He
roster.
has a roster, and I'm okay on that roster. I'm okay because he's on mine.
Mm.
He's
Period.
it is Lord. It's not Lori Harvey type roster.
Can we like talk about that though? Because I would like to address that.
We definitely will. Of course we will. But but I recognize that if this is somebody that I'm attracted to, odds are it's some other chicks out there attracted to him. If he's somebody that I see has, great potential for somebody that I would want to be with, I know that there's other women that see him the same way. So why would I want to sit here and have this man burn up his pockets for just to keep going on a bunch of different dates?
Yeah.
Now, some women, that's what they want. So let it happen. But for me, like that's not an end all be all for me. I do need to know that your finances are in order. But it sounds like you are the type of chick that's like, nope, you gonna pay for every date we go on, sir.
I have some standards. I have cut off men.
I got standards too.
No, I'm not saying that you don't have standards. I'm saying that me, myself, and we got to cut things off somehow, some way. There's a will, there's a way. So I've cut off a guy. He didn't walk on the right side of the sidewalk.
Oh,
you just those little things like that. Like
So we have Nisha. Yes, she says you're definitely different, but you have to do what works for you. Yes, I am different, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't make one way right or wrong, because like Nisha said, you have to find what works for you. So you have found what works for you is having these standards, right? Okay. So what's some other examples of it?
Other examples, I shouldn't have to touch a door when I go out with you. I shouldn't have to touch a door. If I have to tell you you need to open the door for me, you're not for me. And I teach my brother that. Like I told my brother at a very young age, when I'm with you, I'm not touching a door. He now has his little girlfriend, and he knows that he needs to be getting the door for her. Like it's just small things. But if you don't show up for the small things, how are you going to show up for the big things? I got to find a way to cut you off. I have to find a way to cut you off, to do something. Just it is what it is. Dating doesn't have to be fair.
I definitely don't think that dating has to be fair. I mean, because nothing in life is fair.
Nope.
Nothing is fair.
Nope.
But so contrary to what people may assume, I'm the same way. If I have to touch a door, yes, because I told you I want some. I don't care if I'm paying for the date or not. I still need you to be a fucking man. I need you to be a man that I want, right? And the type of man that I want, regardless of how big my personality is, regardless of how rah I am, I need to be able to be soft with you.
Yes, I need you to have that masculine energy.
Yes, I need, and I know that is something that I'm definitely working on, because I don't want men to feel like I'm automatically gonna be combative, because I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. When I'm out, out in I don't want to say out in the real world, because I'm always out in the real world. But you know what I'm saying? Like whenever I have to go on my own, you best believe you're gonna get all this rah, and you're gonna get some smoke behind it if I need to. But if you are my man, I need you to be strong enough to step up to where all of that thing in me can settle itself down, right?
Yes.
And I pay attention to those things that make a man what I consider to be a traditional man. I want you to open our door. I want you, like I said, if we walk into anywhere, or we're walking out of somewhere, I will literally stop.
Yep.
And if you look at me and ask me what, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. That second date that I'm paid for, we're not doing it. I'm not doing it. Like, sorry.
So I, like I said, I don't see anything, I don't see anything wrong with that. And there was a young lady, it actually came across my feed today, and she said, do men realize that marriage is not the goal for everyone? Right? Yeah. And it's not even about marriage being the goal for it's not about you needing marriage. It's okay. How about I just get to know this woman at this stage, right? As we are dating, what is it that I'm looking for in dating you? And a lot of times guys, that sounds like I'm man bashing. I hate that it comes off like that, because I'm really not. I'm just speaking from the experiential side. Right. These are the things that I have experienced, that Brianna has experienced as women. And that's the only thing that we can speak from. But I I simply cannot, um, like I don't know. I can't take a guy who doesn't know how to just enjoy where we are.
Oh my gosh.
Also,
Yes.
but also recognizing like forward motion.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I only FaceTimed this guy. He was not making it to a date because he was so hung up on trying to find a wife. I was like, "You're missing me. You're trying to put me into like 5 years down the road. You can't even see where I am right now.
See,
You don't even know my favorite color, but you're trying to be like, "Oh, we're married." Da, 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 da. No, we're not going to get there. And we didn't. We did not. Not even
that's
first
the
date.
whole message, though. It's a real short statement, but that's the whole message.
Mhm.
Missing me,
Yeah. Yep.
like you over here thinking about your wife, and you're missing me. The chick
Mhm.
is standing right here in front of you, who probably can just be a really great friend and would show up at your wedding to who your real wife
Yeah.
is gonna be,
Yeah.
because it's not gonna be me.
Nope.
I That's, like I said, that's a word. I like that. I'm gonna steal it, and I'm not gonna give you
Yeah.
credit.
That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine.
So,
One thing about, like, what I've experienced, though, like, in dating is Instagram has made it really accessible for people to be fans, and I'm not saying that I'm, like, really out there, like, celebrity whatever, but people really like watching my content, and they think they know me, and they're fans, and they get more hung up on, like, the accomplishments, the accolades, and not getting to know me, and it's so irritating. I can't even describe it, but it's so irritating. Like, you don't know me just because of what I post. And if you think you do, then I'm like so sorry for you that you don't get to understand the woman behind like the grit, the tenacity that allowed me to get to X, Y, and Z position in life. Like, you just really hate to see it. You really hate to see it. And then on the same time, guys get really intimidated by that, which is annoying because I'm like 5'4" on a really, really good day. Like, how are you intimidated by me? Please.
I mean, some people would say, well, is it intimidation, or are they just put off with the fact that, you talk about your accolades and he hasn't accomplished those things, and you feel like you have all these things and they don't?
I mean, that's also a word. That I can't even lie to you. I do post about my accomplishments on Instagram, but I also post about my challenges too. Like I
I'm just playing devil's advocate,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that is that's one of the things that they say that men tend to have an issue with. It's not that excuse me, it's not that she has accomplished these things, it's that she continues to brag and boast about these things. But I feel like there's a balance to be had,
Yeah.
right?
I'm not a boaster.
I follow you, and I think you're pretty transparent about being like a normal everyday type person. But I can see how it can become extremely frustrating, for a man who may be trying to actually get to know the person that you are. When I say you, I'm talking about just in a general
Mhm.
fashion. They're trying to get to know the person that you are, but they're unable to get to know that person because all these people keep talking about is, oh, well, my master's degree in such and such, or whenever I was going to school for such and such, or when I was working as such and such, or I remember when I was only making such and such. That Because that irritates the shit out of me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't lead with accomplishments. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
like, I'm not, I've accomplished a lot of things, but I've accomplished a lot of things in the non-traditional
Mhm.
sense. But it's almost like, a guy constantly talking to me about his fucking car. Constantly talking to me. I'm serious. Listen, look, I'm so anti listen. Yes, that's a nice way for him to crash and burn. But this is a true story. I was at an event last summer, and there was a guy who walked in. He was an attractive guy, and as soon as he was walking, and it was like he was holding his keys in a way that you could see that he had a Benz.
We hate that.
I was like,
Mm-mm.
oh, I was like,
Tacky.
fucking show. Like, I leaned over to my homeboy. I said, you see that shit right here? I was like, I don't care. That dude could sit here and be the best looking one that shows up here tonight. If he tries to talk to me, I ain't got shit to say to him. Like, I went in about it, because I was, and it was all behind him showing his keys. And it's
Mhm.
because, I mean, you've seen how it is in Northern Virginia and out in DC. People like to tout, you know,
Status.
yes, status. And I'm like, I don't care about any of that shit. Like, I got my own. I want to know who you like. I want to know you. I don't want to
Yes.
you. I want to, like, I don't care about your salary.
Mhm.
let me not lie. I do care about your salary. I care that you manage your salary enough to where you do not have a 600 credit score. I
Mhm.
do I do care about those things. I care about you, having enough of a salary to actually maintain you and your lifestyle and your life. I care about all of those things. So, like, I don't I'm not excited about, like, that's not how I'm going to measure you and whether or not I'm going to give you my time.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, first of all, if you just go on any neighborhood street in Nova, everyone got a Benz, everyone got a Tessie, okay? Give me something else.
I mean,
The
I don't
the
got to
kids be I mean, if you go to a high school in the area, the kids' parking lot looks better than the teachers.
the kids parking lot looks better than at my job, because we're not driving nice cars so people can ding them up in the parking lot. Like, we're not
Yeah.
doing that. They're showing up to the office in their Hondas. They're
Mhm,
showing up in their Kias. Like,
mhm.
they are not.
And I have a Kia. I have a Kia. She's cute,
I know,
okay?
but I'm saying there's nothing wrong with it. What I'm saying is these are full-fledged grown adults,
Uh-huh.
and they're not about to put their car in regular parking lots where people are just gonna tear their stuff up.
Nope, that's their
But
commute car.
but as far as the whole status thing, I you know it again, I think that's something else that kind of muddies up the dating scene.
Absolutely,
Let's stop
absolutely.
leaning on our status. Let's stop leaning on our financial income and lean on our personality. And that's what I've also noticed is
Men
there's a
don't have one. Sorry.
come on, can you say it louder
I'm
for the
so
people?
sorry, I'm so sorry. Sometimes men just don't have a personality. Like, you don't have anything going on. What are we gonna talk about? Nothing.
It's like the women who have like these, like, gorgeous, stunning, and you, like, she could not hold a 2-minute conversation. And I mean, I've been around women like that, and I'm just like, dang, she just pretty for nothing. Like, no, I can't even use her as a wing woman.
I've given someone a compliment, like, not to her face, but, like, with the friends. I said the best thing about her is she looks just like her Instagram pictures. And people took a pause. They're like, "Wait a second." I said, "Yeah,
Yikes.
just like her Instagram photos, filter and
That's
all."
that's it.
I
That's it.
mean, a compliment's a compliment, but they understood what I was putting down. They picked it up. So
Yeah, I don't want that compliment. Like, I mean, yes, I want, oh dang, she does, but I don't want that to be like the best thing about
that
it.
was great
Like,
bundles too. Great bundles.
oh, her butt. Okay, well,
Great
okay.
bundles. Look just like the
So
IG.
I don't want us to, overshadow, since we're talking about dating, and of course it's been all over the damn news and, like, pop culture feed.
The think pieces everywhere.
Think pieces about people that ain't even said shit about what they doing. No, my Michael B. Jordan has not said, from what I've noticed, he has not said anything publicly.
Nothing.
Lori Harvey has not said anything publicly, but man, you got everybody and their mama who has something to say about these two. And since everybody got something to say, I mean, I guess we can go ahead and
I
have
got
some.
something to say too.
So what are your thoughts on that situation?
First of all, Michael B. Jordan is my husband. Okay, he doesn't know it yet, but that is my man. That's my whole man. Been my man since high school. But I think I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's a 10-year age gap, and if the rumors are true that the reason why they broke up is because Lori didn't want to go the distance, like, I'm 25. I can't imagine starting at 24 and a half, 23, whatever. I'm dating this man. Then he's like, I want to get married. Allegedly, that's what the rumor mill is saying. And I'm not there yet. Like, I'm literally 25. I'm actually older than Lori by a couple months. I would be sick to my stomach if some man was like, I want to marry you right now.
But I mean, it's not some man.
I
It's
mean,
your mind.
it is, but, like, if you think about Lori's dating history, right? Like, if you remember, she was engaged. She had the biggest ring I've ever seen at 19, 20 years old. Engaged. Broke that off. She dated Future. She's dated Trey Songz. She's dated Diddy and Diddy's son. Like, there's probably some more in between that I'm missing. She
She's
has
dated everybody.
everybody, and she has no problem just living her life and be like, "You're not for me anymore." Okay, bet, bye. You got Michael B. Jordan looking sad-ish at a basketball game, and you got Lori wearing a midriff and a skirt at somebody's party. Like,
but and it has the masses of men so like hurt.
they're in a tizzy. They're big mad, and I'm like, why y'all mad? She doing the same thing y'all do. What's the issue? What's
Mm.
the issue?
Listen, I have no problem with what it is that no, I don't. And when I had a conversation the other day. We went live with Big Smash from the Bet the House podcast. I was having a conversation with him, and I hate the fact that just because Future says she for the streets, sir, you know she for the streets because your ass is for the streets too. You out there,
Facts.
like
Facts.
so. But the way that they try and just make this woman out to be a villain, when I'm like, y'all do realize the only difference between what she does and what the majority of these men out in the dating world who have access like she does is that she doesn't have a dick. That's the
Facts.
only difference. And when you take into consideration, like you said, she's 25, regardless of how she got to where she is, she's in the throes of her own career in
Yep.
high life.
Yep.
Why would she stop? And let's go ahead and say that she's, got all the best of intentions, right? Like she has a good heart. She's really dating with purpose and intention. Whenever a woman stops and settles down, what happens? Like what happens? If they get married, all the things that all these dreams and hopes and aspirations that she has, now
she stops. The guy keeps going. Traditionally,
yeah, she's Michael B. And for the sake of this conversation, she's Michael B. Jordan's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And if she has babies, that's her responsibility. And if people see her working hard and continuing to work, at the pace that she does right now, why isn't she with her kids?
Well, why what's she doing?
Jordan with his kids. Nobody's questioning that.
That part. Part.
No, it's like nobody is really seeing this situation for what it is. It was two people that were together. They broke up. I don't care if it was Michael B. Jordan. I don't care if it was, Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's son, or, Willie Jackson from down the street. At the end of the day, people break up. People have a choice to be with somebody for, a month, a year, 5 years, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, when someone is done, they have the right to be done. And that doesn't mean that we get to vilify him as, she was just using him for what?
On that. For what? Because also, like, let me just give a background story. People like to say Lori Harvey is just an Instagram model. I've been following Lori Harvey for years. She literally walks in Fashion Week in Europe. She's walked for like Dolce & Gabbana. She's walked for the European fashion houses. She is fine by herself. Everyone else is just catching up because of her dating history, but not because of like her portfolio and what she's done and what she's done with her mother. Like, people need to sit down. And also at the same time, what she's doing is no different than what my friends are doing in preparation for Hot Girl Summer. We're 25. We're cute. My motto is I'm too cute to be treated ugly. If you like, if she, I don't know, like something could have happened. But if she felt like she's been treated ugly and she left, I'm supporting it. I'm too cute to be treated ugly. Period.
And that's another thing. Like, we don't know we know the snippets of what we saw on Instagram and, whenever paparazzi would catch them at festivals or out, or whatever, but we don't know their life. We don't know we don't know them people. We don't.
They looked pretty together, and it wasn't even paparazzi half the time. It was their paid photographer. Okay?
I mean, you might hate me for this, and I know it's a lot of people that that's probably listening that's gonna hate me. Like, I mean, yes, he got a nice body and everything, but Michael B. Jordan's mouth bothers me because he looks like he has toilet paper stuck in his cheeks all the time.
Please don't talk about my husband like that.
Me right now, I'm one of like maybe the 7 people on this planet who think that Michael B. Jordan is not all that attractive. But I'm not a great judge of that because I have dated some Ugmos in my life because they were super funny. But I mean, it just is what it is. So, but I when it comes to the whole Lori Harvey thing, let's wrap that part up. These are 2 people who were dating. They broke up. Period. End of the statement. So I think I'm getting like the 5-minute signal. Yeah, he's telling me wrap that shit up, B. But I want to make sure that we close and just basically when it comes to the whole dating world, what's your advice to try and keep things optimistic and positive? Because they can get real negative.
I feel like it goes back to what I just said. I'm too cute to be treated ugly. And that doesn't even mean like you're not, about paying for a date, not like opening up a door. Like, if I don't like your energy, that's ugly. I'm done. If I don't like something you've said, we're done. Like, I don't know. I'm just too cute for that. And also, if it's not a hell fucking yes, it's a hell fucking no.
Okay. And I can completely support both of those because I feel like what it boils down to is exactly what I was going to say, right? Yes, there's a lot of negativity that you can run into out there, but you run into the negativity and you run into the negativity by chance. You stay with the negativity by choice.
Facts.
So make a choice. And if it's not what you want, move on, keep it pushing. Because if you continue to stick in that negative stuff, then yes, you will be telling everybody that the dating pool has piss in it and it's horrible. But I'm actually enjoying my process of dating. Yes, with all the stories and everything, I'll have amazing stories for me and my future boo to lay around and say, man, before you came and got me, you know. But so one last thing we have, he knew what he was getting. Yes, when it comes to Lori Harvey, yes. Maybe he thought he was the one, but Lori said nope, not yet. It is what it is, and that is a true statement. She is entitled to that. Just like what I said, we have a choice. You can
Yep.
either choose to continue to be where you know you're not happy, where you know it's not beneficial for you, or you can choose to move on and say, all right, well, let me just continue on my journey. So I want to thank you, Brianna, for joining in and having this conversation with me, allowing people to see what happens in our inbox.
Because it's a fun time. It's a fun time.
Yes. So you can go ahead, take your time and let people know where they can find you. If you have any sort of charities or organizations that you want them to reach out to or support, let that be known right now. But go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Brianna, BREANA _Gabrielle, GABRIELLE. And that's the extent of it. You'll see more about my double life, my triple life on my personal Instagram. But go ahead and follow me there.
Okay, thank you so much, Brianna. And for those that are listening, if you enjoyed what you heard here, please feel free to go and follow me on Instagram at Talks with Tasha G. I am on pretty much any other platform you can find me, Talks with Tasha Podcast. I'm on Apple, I'm on Spotify, I'm on iHeartRadio. If you have any questions or comments that you'd like to leave, you can go ahead and leave it on my page, or you can slide up in my DMs. But ultimately, I appreciate you joining in, and I will talk to y'all next time.
Oh, Tasha, oh, it's time for